In this session, we're going to solve some sample problem. So let's start with problem number 1, wherein we're going to determine the quotient and the remainder of the given. Okay, so for A, 44 is divided by 8. B, 777 is divided by 21. C, negative 123 is divided by 19. And D, negative 1 is divided by 23. Okay, to answer this, so we're going to use division algorithm, wherein division algorithm is B is equal to AQ plus R. B is your dividend, A is the divisor, Q is your quotient, and R is the remainder. And don't forget, R is always positive. Okay, the excess is always positive. So let's start with letter A. 4 is divided by 8. Okay, don't forget we have um, two functions for division. We have div and mod. If say div, the result is the whole number, and the mod, the result is the excess or the remainder. Okay, so for the quotient, so 44 div 8, so the whole number, the result of this is 5. Okay, 44 divided by 8 is 5, the whole number. And for the remainder, so 44 mod 8, the excess is 4. Okay, so that will be our answer. And for 777 is divided by 21. So again, for the quotient, our function is div, so 777 div 21. The result is 37. The whole number is 37. And then the excess using mod, the result is 0. So it means that 777 is divisible by 21. So 21 is a factor of 777. Okay, now let's move on with the third. Negative 123 is divided by 19. Okay, so again, so we're going to use the algorithm, the division algorithm, wherein negative 123 is equal to 19 cubed plus R. So using div, the result for the quotient is negative 6. And for the remainder, okay, so we're going to use mod, negative 9 is the result. But this is incorrect. Why? Because the remainder, don't forget the remainder is always positive. Okay, so it means this result is not is not accepted. Okay, so how we're going to correct this? Okay, so instead of negative 6, the result of the result negative 6, we're going to add negative 1 on it. So that will be the correct quotient. Why? Because don't forget, okay, so iba ang treatment natin sa negative. Okay, so to correct the remainder, we're going to add 1. Okay, and then using the division algorithm, so this will be the new equation. Negative 123 is equal to negative 7 times 19 plus R. And R will be positive 10. Now, our answer is correct. Quotient is negative 7, remainder is 10. So this will be our solution if ever the remainder is negative 9. We're going to add 1 to your quotient and then use the division algorithm to get the remainder R. So it will be positive. Okay. And same as with the fourth given. So we have negative 1 is divided by 23. Okay. So this is our division algorithm. Negative 1 is equal to 23q plus R. So using div to get the quotient, so definitely the answer is 0 since 1 is less than 23. Okay, and then the remainder is definitely negative 23. Okay, but the problem here, it doesn't conform with the division algorithm wherein R should be positive. So it means we need to correct this answer. So for the quotient, So same as with the previous slide, we're going to add 1 to our quotient. So it will be -1. Okay, so add -1 to our quotient. Okay, so for the remainder, so now for using the division algorithm, this will be our equation. -1 is equal to 23 times -1 plus r. Okay, so evaluating this, the new r is positive 22. Okay, so now this is the correct solution, correct answer for this question. Okay, again, don't forget to add -1 to the quotient if the remainder is negative, so that when we apply the quotient to our equation, the new quotient to our equation, the remainder will be positive. So it conforms with the division algorithm rule. Okay, so now let's proceed with problem number 2. So decide whether each of these integers is congruent to 3 modulus 7. So 37 is congruent to 3 modulus 7, 66 is congruent to 3 modulus 7, -16 is congruent to 3 modulus 7, and -67 is congruent to 3 modulus 7. Don't forget what is the meaning of modulo or congruency. So we're going to subtract 3 to the given and then divide it by 7. If the result is 0, so it means it's congruent. It means divisible by 7. If not, it's not congruent. Okay, so let's start with 37. So 37 minus 3 mod 7. So the result is 34 mod 7. And when we divide it by 6, okay, when we divide 34 mod 7, so the remainder is 6. So it means not congruent since it's not 0. So it's not divisible by 7 when we subtract 3 from 37. Okay, so B. So 66 minus 3 mod 7. The result is 63 mod 7. And the result is 0. Okay, so we don't have any remainder. So therefore, 66 is congruent to 3 modulus 7. Okay, for letter C, so we're going to subtract 3 to -17. So we have -17 minus 3 mod 7. The result is -14, -20 rather, not 14, -20 mod 7. And then the result of the quotient or the remainder is 1. Since this is 1, therefore it's not congruent. Okay, for letter D, -67, okay, minus 3 mod 7. The result will be -70 mod 7. And then the quotient or the remainder rather, is equal to 0. Since it's 0, -67 is congruent to 3 modulus 7. Okay, again, when we subtract 3 to the given and divide it by 7, the remainder should be 0, so that it will be considered as congruent to 3 modulus 7. Okay, same as with the other examples. Okay, so now let's move on with problem number 3. So find each of these values. So basically, we're just going to evaluate this. So 177 mod 31 plus 270 mod 31, then mod 31 again. Okay, and letter B, 177 mod 31 times 270 mod 31, then the whole equation mod 31. Okay, so for letter A, so we're going to evaluate first 170 mod 31. What is the result? What is the remainder? And same as with this. Okay, so the remainder for the first is 22, and for the second is also 22. Then add it, then apply mod 31. The result is 13. So that will be the answer for letter A. For letter B, okay, so same as with letter A, evaluate first 170 mod 31, 270 mod 31, then multiply, and then apply mod 31 to the product. Okay, the result is 19. So that's how we evaluate this type of problem. Okay, so now let's move on with problem number 4. For problem number 4, find each of the values. Okay, so basically we're just going to evaluate it. So 192 mod 41 mod 9, 323 mod 13, okay, 2 mod 11. Okay, so this will be, okay, so by the way, this 2 is squared, not not times 2. It should be squared. Okay, so again, this equation squared. So for letter A, the result is evaluate first. Mhm. And also this is squared, 19 squared. So I'm just going to correct it na. So this should be squared para hindi na tayo malito. Kayo malito. Superscript. Okay, let's go back. So again, this is the given, the correct given. Okay, so still it should be squared. Okay, going back. So evaluate first the 19 squared. So the result is 361. Then apply mod 41. The result is 33. And then apply mod 9. The result is 6. Again, mod will give us a result, the remainder. The remainder is the result of the mod function. And for letter B, so we have 3 raised to 23 mod 13. This is mod 13. Then raised to 2 mod 11. So the result is, so evaluate first the 3 raised to 23. This is the result. Then apply mod 13. The result is 8. Okay. And then raise it to 2. So the result is 64. Okay. And then apply mod 11. So the result is 9. Okay. So that is how we evaluate this. Okay. Now, so that will be our last example for this video lecture. So see you on the next video lecture about sample problems. Okay, so thank you. So see you on the next video lecture.